Hello, and welcome to Skeptics Corner, with me, Matthias Impartial, the programme where we interview those who stand up for unbeliefs and are ready to question everything and everyone. Today, my very special guest is Thomas Didymus, one of the followers of the late Jesus of Nazareth. Thomas, thank you for joining us. It's my pleasure. Well, Thomas, what a traumatic couple of weeks. To lose such a close friend so suddenly, and then find out that the rest of your friends just cannot accept the finality of death and insist on believing that Jesus is still alive. That must be very difficult for you. Yes, it has been, but it's tragic, isn't it, when people decide to throw away their lives following some pointless lie because they can't cope with reality. Don't you agree? Oh, absolutely. But I think it's wonderful that you have the courage of your unconviction to question the whole situation, to risk losing your friends just because you don't believe what they're telling you. How did you feel about that? Well, it was very difficult, obviously, because it must have been. I think you spoke for many of us when you were quoting the Jerusalem Times with their now famous words, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it." Do you think you've had any effect on your fellow disciples to help them to come to terms with Jesus' death? No, not really. You see, fascinating. You see, this is just the kind of grand illusion that we love to pull to bits here on Skeptics Corner. Isn't it amazing that those who actually saw Jesus brutally executed want to see him again so much that they have actually created for themselves some form of alternate reality in which Jesus has, preposterous I know, risen from the dead? Yes, well, you see, I did think all that up until the day before yesterday. Pardon? I said, yes, I heard you. What happened yesterday? Well, I was with the other disciples, trying to help them to see sense, get them to see the futility of it all, when, well, it's a bit difficult, actually. There he was, right in front of me. Who? Jesus, of course. He appeared right there. It took me by surprise, I can tell you. I know the feeling. But after the initial surprise, I felt a real idiot. It wasn't exactly what I'd been expecting. I felt really embarrassed. I know exactly what you mean, because he said, "Thomas, have a good look. Put your fingers into the nail marks on my hands and into my side." He knew exactly what I'd said before. I was so ashamed that I hadn't believed the others. Thomas, if I can... it's a bit difficult to believe that someone's dead when he stood right there in front of you chewing on a piece of fish. A piece of fish? Yes, I think it was fish. But then, you see, the full realisation dawned on me. He was alive. I was bowled over. This isn't just anyone back from the dead, I thought. This is God's son. Well, I'm afraid... Then he said, "You believe because you've seen me." I thought, can't fault you there, Jesus. And he said something very interesting, perhaps particularly very appropriate for your viewers. Oh, really? What was that? "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Seeing isn't always believing. Yes, well, what an interesting perspective. That's fascinating. Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on our show. I'd like to, but that's all we've got time for this week. Goodbye.